Alrighty. Hello, everybody. So thank you so much for being on tonight. Today, what I'm going to do is, if you can turn on your video, we would love to see your beautiful faces. Today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you how I take my trades. And so I will be sharing my screen and literally walking you through how I do charting. So what I'm going to have up is tradingview.com. I'm also going to be having my currency strength website, and I'm also going to open up my goldliberty.im scanner, okay? And I will literally show you what I do every single day to look for my own trades and how quickly I'm able to chart and take as perfect as it gets trades. So I will be sharing my screen here in a second. So, and then what we'll do is make sure you are typing out your questions on the chat, and then we'll go through them after the session. Alrighty. Can you confirm to me if you're being able to see my screen? It should have goldliberty.im. Type in a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you. Perfect. All right. The first thing I normally do when I wake up in the morning is I come into Currency Strength Meter. This is a free website that helps me just figure out, what pairs should I be probably working with today. And what you want to look for is one pair having more bars than the other. The larger the variance between the two currencies, the better it is for you, meaning that you are safer taking a trade, let's say, for example, Euro USD than maybe NZD USD. The bigger the variance in the bars, the better it is for you, because then you are not going to run into a situation where these two could flip. The other thing, so I either mentally take a note or I just write EU USD JPY is 1, and then EJ is another one, and those are the ones I'm seeing right now. However, I will tell you, and maybe AUD USD is also 1. Okay, and so based on the training you've had through the school, you should understand if Euro USD, if these bars are larger or many than the USD, this is going to be what we call a call or a buy. Okay, so I put down and I say EU is going to be a buy, EJ is going to be a put. It's the reason why it's a put is because these bars are more than the preceding asset, the USD. EJ is going to be a call, and AU is going to be a call. So I just have that on a sticky note. I'm just putting that in the back of my head. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the website called Forex Factory and kind of figure out if the pairs that I'm interested in have any kind of news. Because then I can start eliminating. I can start the process of elimination to say, you know what, I was really interested in EU and I'm not going to do it, right? So in this case, one thing to make sure is that this website is set up to your local time. So the way to do it is under settings. You should make sure, I think it's under settings. Okay, up here, right above settings, you should make sure that it's reflecting your local time. So this one is reflecting actually Eastern time. So I do need to change that into Central time. Why is it showing 8:08? Okay, now it's in Central time. You see what I did? Why is this important? I want to see what's happening in the market in the time zone that I'm part of. Because what's the need of me knowing that, something happened an hour ago? It makes no sense to me, right? I want to know right now, can I go into the market and evaluate a few assets and make some money and get out of here, okay? That's how you do it. Now, I do know that if I see a red folder, it's a no-no. I'm not gonna be trading those assets. So right now it's 7:09 p.m. Central Time, and I do not see any kind of news. Okay, it's 7 o'clock. I do not see any kind of news. Okay, so I don't have any red folders. If you see a red folder or an orange folder, it's time to run the opposite direction. Don't be risky. Just say, you know what, I'll come back tomorrow, or I'll come back in an hour when the market has already a little bit chilled out. The other thing you need to consider here is the fact that if you see a gray folder, it means it's a holiday for that country or for that currency. Typically, we tell people do not trade on a holiday. Even after the day, after let's say July 4th, the day after, you are playing a little bit of a risk, taking trades the very next day with on the 5th of July, for example. So you have to be very cognizant of, is it a holiday? Is the market going to behave the way it should be behaving? Okay, so that's what I do. Now, I do know I don't have any news. The next thing I do here is I go into Liberty. So I come in here and I'm going to just look at EU. I'm going to look at EU, and I should find it here. There it is. Okay. So this is a trick I do for myself. Now, if you look right here, even though the bars were reflecting a very huge variance, it doesn't look like it's large, right? So I'm not touching this. Why? It's a 53.59 or 57.59. I don't want to play around with two currencies that are going to be flipping around. I'm out. EU is out for me right now. Okay. I'm going to go to my second option, which is UJ. UJ has a better variance for me, even though it's moving, but it's 61.31. So I feel good about that. Okay. So I know UJ might be one of the currencies that I might look at. And then the other thing I do is EJ. EJ, I'm going to locate EJ. And I'm going to see, I'm okay with 57.34. Okay. So I know EJ, UJ, and we're going to look at AU. AU makes me feel comfortable. Okay. So now I have three assets I can look at. Now, how do I determine if I'm going to take a trade right now? I'm going to use the double blessing strategy to figure out, okay, what are the checkpoints for me to be looking at to make sure that I can comfortably take a trade? If you're not aware where double blessing strategy is, you can literally just go to JanieBody.com, JanieBody.com, JanieBody.com/trading. Okay, this is your Bible, you guys. I put this website together for you. That way it's much easier for you to find stuff. Now, where do you go to find the checklist for double blessing? I think I put it under taking your own trades. Let's look in there. Okay. If you don't have the password, you can reach out to whoever enrolled you. They will give you the password to this website. Okay. So here's what I know. Here's my cheat sheet. Okay. I know that in order for me to Coach Rose, I'm going to make you co-host. That way you can interrupt me if there's anything going on that I'm not aware. Okay. So there's another checklist I think Coach Rose uses. I like to use the original one. Why? It has never failed me. It's the same thing anyway. I'm used to it. I learned how to use it, and I'm doing very good with it, with what I look for. Now, here's what I know. I know that UJ is a put, right? I wrote that down from looking at the currency strength, looking at gold Liberty. Now, a put is also known as a sell, also known as bearish. Now, one of the things that I need to be looking at is I've already evaluated the trade, the two assets, the assets to know that this is checked. This is good. Is the base currency weaker than the core currency? Yes. I'm good on that. Why? If I look here, UJ, I can see, wait a minute, it switched to a buy. So this is going to be a buy, they flipped. This is going to be a buy. UJ is going to be a buy for me, okay? So I'm gonna switch that over. These things change so fast, it's crazy. So I'm gonna use a checklist for buy, okay? Is the base currency stronger than the quote currency? Yes, check. Did the green arrow appear in cash trap? Cash trap is the same as market trap, okay? Right now, I ain't seeing nothing. I don't see a green arrow. I'm seeing a red arrow. So I'm like, no. It's not working for me right now. I already have one thing that is not working for me when it comes to a buy for UJ. Now, the next thing I'm gonna look for is stochastic and RSI around the green line pointing up? Is RSI and stochastic around the green line pointing up? I'm gonna come over here and say, no way, Jose, it is not pointing up. Because if it's a buy, this gray line or this black line should be crossing up. And this other gray line should be crossing up. Okay? So guess what, you guys, ladies and gentlemen? I ain't taking this trade now, right now. It has not passed my stochastic check. It has not passed my green arrow. I'm not going to take that trade. Now I'm going to say, okay, let's look at EJ. Okay. So quickly I've been able to eliminate this. And as you do this, the way I did this in the beginning is I memorized, I just crammed it. I crammed my cheat sheet in my head. And so quickly I can come in here and say, no, this is not going to work. Base currency, quote currency is not jiving with me right now. I'm out, right? So now I'm going to go to my next asset, EJ. Okay. So let's see how EJ is behaving right now. And don't forget to always refresh the screen in order for you to get the most current information. So I'm going to come to EJ. It's not a bad idea to always come here to also refresh and kind of just see what's going on with EJ. It looks like it got really strong. It's also favoring a buy, also known as bull market. Okay. So I'm going to find EJ here very quickly. And I can see that EJ, based on my cheat sheet from my double blessing strategy, it ain't favoring it. Why is it not favoring it? My RSI stochastic is on the red line. If it's a buy, it should be crossing up on the green line. So already out. Is the currency strength favoring a buy? Yes. The type right now is put. I'm out. This is not a good trade. I don't even have to keep going through my checklist to figure out if it's a good trade. It's out. I'm going to give you another example. I'm going to look at AU. Okay. I'm going to come here and look at AU. It's right here. So it looks like AU updated 8 minutes ago. So I will be refreshing very quickly to see if I can get it to reset and sync to 5 minutes. I'm gonna come here, AU. I still have, it's kind of taking a little bit of time to update, but right away, I know that this line, RSI stochastic, is favoring a sell. So for me, I am not going to get into that trade based on double blessing strategy. However, it's important for me to mention this. There's so many different types of strategies. There are some traders like Millie Mills that is part of IM Academy. She could easily take this trade because what she's going to do is she's going to ride this trade going down. Okay. But she uses a different scanner. And so you have to learn what she does if you want to take trades that are not favoring double blessing strategy. So memorize this thing like your life depends on it, because that's what I did. Once I memorized this, I started to create discipline around the checklist. You also have to make sure that you're taking your trades on an hourly, half hourly, or 45 minutes. What does that mean? What time is it right now? It's 7:20. It means that if the other parts of this checklist are favoring a buy, I have to wait around 7:30 to take my trade. I ain't gonna be jumping into a trade no matter, even if all the checklist is going. I'm not gonna be jumping into a trade at 7:20. That comes with discipline. You're gonna have to be disciplined, because if you're careless about the checklist, you will burn. Okay? And then that just takes time. It just takes time. You just have to tell your mind, and you're gonna be really annoyed with yourself when you take trades at 7:20 or 7:19, and then you're like, "Why it doesn't work?" No, you don't work. Okay? That is how we do that. Now, I want to show you how I precisely look for really good trades. It's so simple. I'm going to show you the trick to charting. Now, you can create an account with tradingview.com. You have an option of either buying an account that gives you a little bit bells and whistles, meaning it gives you extra alerts, it gives you blah, 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 all that stuff. That's what I did when I was brand new. I paid $14.95 or whatever it is monthly in order for me to learn the skill. However, you can always have a free account. If you have a free account, you're not going to have all the bells and whistles. Now that I understand how to trade, I disconnected my account because I don't need it. Okay. So when you download or when you create a profile, tradingview.com, what you're going to do is you're going to come under products and then under chart. Okay. When you come under chart, if you have a brand new TradingView, it's not gonna look like mine. It's not gonna have the background. It's not gonna look like mine. All you have to do is go into settings. I don't know where setting is. The way I created mine, honestly, I think I combined what Camry had on Go Live, and I YouTube the rest of it. Okay, it's easy. Now, these little things that you see, they're called support, these blue ones, and resistance. It's very, very easy to get that. All you have to do is just come into the indicators, and then you're going to look for Even Cabra. Strategy 2. Once you click on that, it generates your automated support and resistance. I like those. Why? I will show you why I like those, because they are literally telling me what the market was doing. The market got here, it bounced up, it hit there, it got to the roof, it dropped down. So it's showing me, it's giving me stats on where it was going up and down. So I'm not using too much of my brain trying to figure out when did the market go to the ceiling and drop off, and what was the last support we had. Now, I'm going to show you how to chart. This is very important. If you want to be precise, if you want to make that $1,000 a month, a day, pay attention here. Now, the way I do my charting is very simple. I just go back to one day. I am going to be using UJ. We can just use UJ, okay? UJ, okay? So there is no shortcut to this. You're going to have to play around TradingView to figure out how it works. Nobody can teach you this. You just have to spend a little bit of time in there. Don't be intimidated. You cannot break anything, okay? I'm going to show you how I do this in 10 seconds. You'll be shook how easy this is, okay? So this is 24, okay. So I went back to 1 day ago. I just clicked on here and I clicked on 1 day, okay? Now, I do know based on my information earlier that UJ is a buy. So the way I'm going to be doing the charting is very, very simple. I'm going to expand this thing as far as I get it, and I'm going to look for the second candle. This candle right here. And I'm going to go to my left-hand side and grab the tools. Okay. And I'm going to use a horizontal line. I'm going to grab it. I'm going to come to the base of my second candle. And I'm going to draw a line. I'm going to go back to my horizontal and pick another horizontal line. And I'm going to draw another line on the wick of that candle. I'm going to go to 1 hour. I'm going to repeat the same behavior. Okay. Now, for the sake of documentation, I'm going to say the green line is 1 day charting. I'm going to pick a different color. Okay. I'm going to go back to horizontal. What am I trying to do right now? I'm trying to figure out precise entry points for my trades. Okay, that's all I'm trying to do. So I'm going to go look for the second to last candle from an hour ago. I'm trying to figure out what was the market doing. So here I am. I don't know what I just did. I have a third line. Okay, no, I'm fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm trying to expand this as big as I can get it. That way I can get the wick of the second candle. Now I'm going to go back and grab a horizontal line. I'm going to just mark the bottom of the second candle. Why? The line that I drew from a day ago is already passing my support zone on my 1 hour chart. Okay, so we're using yellow for 1 hour ago. Just remember that. So the behavior of the candles are literally identical on 918 area. The chart hit, the candle hit, or the asset hit support a day ago at 918. It hits the same support zone an hour ago. What is that telling us? It's telling us a very good story. That is a strong area. Okay, now I'm gonna go back here and look at the behavior of my chart 15 minutes ago. This is really good news. Guess what? My second candle, I don't even need to be drawing my line anymore on support. It's once again identifying a day ago we hit 918. An hour ago we hit 918. 15 minutes ago we hit 918. Take a guess. That is a very strong area. So with me, now I know that the market is looking really good at 135.1918. That is a really good entry zone. Let me show you something else that is supporting this. Okay. So 15 minutes ago, 15 minutes candle. Let me just draw this in. That way we have something for 15 minutes. I'm going to draw on my support here. Why am I drawing on my support? It's because I kind of want to just see what's happening on the week. 15 minutes ago, I might just use a purple one. Yeah. But I want to show you something. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to get rid of these lines real quick for you. Okay. I now have evidence that my zone is very strong. Why? Do you guys see? Even Cabra hit right here right here, which means that your entry zone could be 135.918 or 135.890. It's usually a zone. But I want to show you something really, really strong here. When I take my horizontal line again and I draw it right here, okay? Check this out, you guys. The 918 zone, or 91, let me just put 918. The 918 zone looks like it was hitting the top ceiling of some candles here, right here, very, very close. What is this telling us? It's telling us this is a very strong area because the market was coming in, hitting that zone, going down, hitting that zone, coming down again, okay? And that line, the 918 zone area, has been used by the candles 3 different ways: day, hour, 15 minutes. Now, all I have to do is, if I'm busy doing my own stuff, I can just come in here and put an alarm. All I'm doing is I'm just pointing my arrow right here. I'm gonna click on it and I'm gonna actually put my alarm a little bit lower. That way I have reaction time. So I might just put it under 9:06. Why am I putting it at 9:06? Because by the time I might be busy eating some bacon that Coach Rose baked. Coach Rose is always eating. I want to have it. I want to have reaction time, right? So when my phone is ringing, right, ding 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 ding, I'm coming to my desk or I'm looking at my phone and looking, hey, what's up with you, Jay? So what I'm gonna do is, let's just make an assumption. My my alarm went off. All I'm gonna do here, even if my alarm goes off and it's on fire or whatever, I still have to come in here and say, hey, girl, are these trades meeting the checklist? Is my stochastic RSI crossing up on green, crossing up on green? Do I have a green arrow? My strength part of my checklist? If they're not, and then what time is it? If they're not, I ain't touching it. It is that simple. It is not hard at all. All I did was I drew a line on support one day. I drew another line 1 hour. I drew another line 15 minutes. I have a zone entry. That's it. Now the rest of it is just kind of, you know, coming over here, making sure that my checklist looks good. And I'm good to go. So it is not hard at all. Okay. So that is my training today. I am gonna open up the line for any questions that you may have. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unmute you guys up, and then that way you can ask questions. If you have any questions, go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, Jen, this is Sharon. I have a question.
Yeah.
So you say the first thing, you draw the line on the support on the first candle, right?
Yeah.
I just want to verify if I wrote the right thing, what you said. And then the second time, you draw the line on the wick on the second candle, right?
Yes.
On both 1 day, 1 hour, and 15 minutes.
Yes.
Good. Thank you. And then you use the cheat sheet to verify if you can take the trade.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes. Hi. How comes you didn't check it on the 5 minutes?
I've never checked it on the 5 minutes myself. I just know that the 1 hour and 15 minute zones are the most strongest zones. I don't really care what happened 5 minutes ago. I'm not sure if Kemry is checking now, but my foundation training was always 1 day. Because honestly, the market could flip so fast. It doesn't really matter what happened 5 minutes ago, right? 5 minutes ago, the market could do anything, right? So I don't really check. I don't check 5 minutes. Any other questions?
Yeah, and just to confirm, yes, Canberra insists the 15 and the 1 hour is the strongest. So
Yeah,
just like she said, yeah. So you don't have to stress too much about the 5 minutes.
yeah, it doesn't really, yeah. Thank you. Alrighty, you guys, well,
Jenny,
go ahead.
sorry, it's Lillian. I have a question.
Yeah.
I noticed, actually 2 questions. I noticed that for a while you were just charting the supports, the floors, right?
Yes.
But, and then this I've struggled a lot with charting, because when I watch other videos, I see that people chart like the wick, the bottom, the body, and the wick on top, and the body on top, and you end up with 4 different lines per candle, and that has been really confusing me. That's why I've struggled a lot with charting, and I've been charting and nothing buys in my zones. I think because of that, I end up with too many lines, and then I don't know which ones are valid zones. So I've noticed that different people chart differently. So I like your style, because that's much simpler, to remember. Like if I'm looking for a buy, I just worry about the floors.
Exactly. I don't care what's
I
happening
mean,
on a put.
yeah,
I'm not looking for put.
Okay. And then when you're looking for a sale, it's the top, the reds, the
Yes.
resistance.
Exactly. Stop.
Thank you so much. That just simplified it for me. And then another thing is, why is it that we don't chart 30 minutes and yet we can enter the market at 30 minutes?
That I do not know. That's not. It's almost like saying, it just doesn't make any sense. At least not for the strategy that we use. We don't really care what happened 30 minutes ago. We want to kind of see big time zones, a day ago, 1 hour ago, and 15 minutes ago. We just are interested in the behavior of the market on those 3. And because that double blessing strategy itself has been so good, why modify it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And we never enter the market at 15, right?
Say that again.
We never enter the market at 15 minutes. It's only hourly.
Yeah. The checklist. Just follow the
Okay.
checklist. Yeah.
Okay.
Just print this out, memorize it, enter market at hourly, half hourly, or 45 minutes. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's almost like somebody saying the way you make pancakes is, no, that's not a good example.
Mhm.
In order
Last
for you to make
question.
In order for
Last
you to make a juicy steak,
Sure.
you do it this way. You cook it for 10 minutes and you're like, maybe I should cook it for 30. Good luck, right?
Yeah, thank you. Just one last thing. Sometimes, like the trades that they send, the strategy aligns outside of those time zones, like outside of the 15, outside of the hourly 30 and 45. The strategy aligns, like it hits those zones, but outside of the timing. What do you suggest we do?
I just gave you a checklist. What do you think you should do?
Now enter the market?
Exactly. If you're going to use double blessing strategy, use it. If you don't use it, there are other strategies. To be very fair, there are other strategies, and there's different kind of traders within our school, right? So if you are aware of what strategy they use, and you can have a quick checklist and say, oh, this looks really, really good. Go with it. For me, I refused to learn any other strategy. I stick to one. And if it does not align, I have so much discipline that is so annoying. I will not take the trade. Why risk? Why am I going to be taking a trade when I'm blind? It doesn't make any sense to me. So for me, I would rather skip that trade and say, oh, it doesn't meet my double blessing amount. I'm not touching it. That's just me. However, of course, If you want to master other strategies and kind of say, oh, you know what, with this other strategy, the checklist is this and this and this, it kind of looks like it's going to be a good trade, then you can go ahead and take that trade. For me, straight up, and I think that's the reason why I've been so successful with it, I refused to learn any other strategies. I told myself I'm going to be very good at one and very disciplined at one, and I've made loads of money that way. So all I say is, you know, if you decide to like learn strategies from like Millie Mills, Ness Vasquez, Jia Wall, and they're meeting your checklist, you're like, the arrow facing up, cross up, whatever it is that they use, and you see a trade and you can verify, because at the end of the day, it's your money, right? And you want to be educated with it. Then you can go ahead and do that. Did I answer your question?
Yes, thank you very much.
Perfect. Is this Mungai? Or who is this?
No,
It's
Momani.
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 Okay,
Mhm.
cool. Alrighty, you guys, thank you so much for spending your evening.
I have a question before you go. Just one more. So you told us when you're charting, we go for 1 hour, we go for the second candle. Does it matter the color, whether it's red or blue?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay, that answered my question.
Alrighty, thank you so much, you guys. This